I may not be able to rotate now. Maybe we can. There we go. Orientation is locked. All right. Well, come on, let me, okay, I'm trying to get this thing to rotate for me and it's not letting me do it. So we may have to do the whole thing this way around. Let me change the view of the camera. Okay. I normally like to do it this way, but it's not letting me do that. So we're probably going to have to do the whole thing up and down, so I apologize for that. So let's get this camera set up. And what we want to talk about this session, I think, is we've got puppies now that are 7 weeks old today. And so we'd like to talk about the things that we're doing and what you should probably be doing as you get close to the point that they're going to get their new homes. All right, I don't know how that's working for everybody in terms of the orientation. It may be annoying for some people. And there we go. We get this tripod so it's stable. It's not stable yet. Let's keep on working it for a second. Sorry. Still want to tip over on me. 2 seconds here. I've got to fumble around. Let's see if that's better. All right. All righty then. Okay. So, different orientation. We've got Bones VR has joined us. Says hi, James. Good to see you. And Gentle Giant Companions says hi, James. Well, Gentle Giants, we're glad to see you here as well. Tammy will be with us here in a moment. Alex Ramirez, what do you recommend for hot spots? Well, there's a good one. So, you know, are we talking about a pregnant dog or are we talking about a dog that's not pregnant? If it's a pregnant dog, you've got to be a little careful about what you put on. And the only thing that we put on a pregnant dog is a topical spray. So, for instance, there's Adam's flea and tick spray. Very, very safe. You can put that on both puppies and mum, nursing or not. Although when you spray that, you don't want to spray it on the teats. You want to spray it on the middle of the back so the puppies aren't nursing on it. You know, other things would be a medicated shampoo. You can do that anytime, completely safe. And then maybe some topical cream you could put on there, some aloe vera oil or something like that. But, you know, there's other reasons you can have hot spots. Now, you can have hot spots, well, you know, is it insects, is it bugs, is it allergies, is it something else? So depending on what that is would determine what I'm going to use. But again, if you've got a pregnant dog, you can be a little careful about what you're using. Young French has joined us, and they say, how's it going? It's going good. And then, let's see, Jay says, I'm here, what did I miss? You haven't missed anything yet, other than me trying to get this silly camera to rotate the other way around. And it's kind of annoying, I can't get it to do it. But again, Tammy will be with us in a moment, we'll just get close together and you'll be able to see both of us. Best way to stop milk production. Yeah, so we're going through this right now. So that's a great question because it fits in with this, what's going on at the 7-week mark for our dogs. So we start weaning puppies typically around 4.5, 5 weeks, and they've got to have teeth, start them on mush. They've been doing that now for a couple of weeks. They're doing great on it. So what we do is we limit their access to mum. So you've got to do this balance between mum getting engorged with milk because you're not letting the puppies nurse on her versus letting puppies on her all the time and she's still got milk being produced. Because what's going to happen is the more you let the puppies nurse on her, the more she's going to produce milk. So the two ways that you stop milk production is limit access of puppies to mum and cut back on protein too. So you can cut her diet back. Cut her diet back. So we feed really as much as she wants to eat while she's nursing. And then we put her closer to a regular diet as we want to start weaning her. Weaning puppies off her. So the combination of those two things. Less access to mum and cutting the calories back. All right. For those of you who are joining us now, we've got quite a few people here today. That's great. We've got 8 of you who have hit the like button. We want more than 8. Last time I think we had 45. I'd like to see 50 this time. Can we get 50, please? Can we please see some of the older dogs? I'm in your house. Yes, maybe we can pull the camera off the stand here in a little bit, and we'll take you over to where Mama is with her babies. So I'll do that here in a little bit. I'm going to get Tammy here with me to do that, and then we'll show you back there. And Tammy's going to be mad because it's, you know, we like to show it off when it's really pristine and clean. It's not bad, but it's, you know, it's not perfect. But heck, you know, that's all part of the process, isn't it? Nate Show Line says, love the information, keep it going. For you, absolutely. Mr. Clean joined us. Hi, James. Just want to thank you for answering my question when I text. Well, you're welcome. So I've got lots of people who call me up and text me. I mean, I probably get 20 phone calls a day. I'm here to help people. A lot of those people I have never met before, but hey, you know, if we can help, then that's what we want to do. Quality French has watched this, says, flood James with likes. Yes, exactly. Hey, we just got 8 more. Just since you said that, in the last minute, we've got 8 more people. Thank you. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. What is the most expensive a litter has cost you to produce? So actually, the most expensive was the last litter I co-owned with Darren in Atlanta. We co-owned a dog together. And he went out, he wanted to go with a velvet big rope. And that was a $15,000 stud fee. So that was by far, because, you know, almost all the time we're using our own studs. Occasionally we go outside because we want to add other bloodlines. But that was probably the most expensive. And the crappy part about that was I only got 1 dog that I could sell off that. So I actually ended up in the hole on that. So not very good. That's the first time I've ever been on the hole on a litter. But, you know, it happens and it's not the end of the world. So when I say in the hole, we basically broke on it, which, you know, that's not the worst to be. So now let's talk about cost of dogs. I mean, so, you know, when you say what is the most expensive litter, the other part about this is what are your other expenses. So let's just talk about those briefly, because some of those are fixed costs, like feeding mum, C-section costs, those kind of things are fairly well fixed. For us, feeding mum, you know, Bill Jack, $8, or I think it's now $10 for a 5-pound bag. She's going through a bag every couple of days. So, you know, we're spending quite a bit on Bill Jack, you know, a few $100. C-section expense for us, typically for us around $800. It's not too bad. I know a lot of you are paying a lot more than that. And by the way, one way that you can avoid some of those expenses is find a vet a bit further away. That I get an example of this. I think it was 2 weeks ago we were talking to somebody from Manhattan, from Long Island, and they were paying $6,500 for a C-section cost. And somebody else got in there and says, hey, I'm in Newark, I get one done for $650. Newark's less than an hour away. So if that person had known about that beforehand, they could have reduced their cost by almost $6,000. That is a huge part of your expense of having a litter. So what are other expenses? You know, shots, we do those ourselves. We've got 2 sets of shots that we give puppies, typically costs about $7 a shot. So not a lot of expense in that. A vet visit for every dog before it leaves. Oh, it's not very expensive. I think it costs us probably about $30 a dog for that. So I think one of the biggest expenses is the amortization costs of the female. So for instance, right now we have Kits. This is her last litter. She's had 3 litters. So if you're really carrying on expenses, you should amortize what you paid for her over 3 litters and absorb that over that many puppies. She's had 3 puppies every time, 9 puppies. 9 puppies off hers, that gives you an idea. And it's going to end up being for her, about $500 a puppy amortization cost. But it could be a lot more than that. I mean, we've had dogs that are $50,000, $60,000 dogs. All right. PP Kennels joined us. What's up, brother? Well, it's just a really nice Sunday here. Linda says, how are you tonight? We're doing great. And if you haven't hit that, look at that. We've got 35 thumbs up. That is the best we've ever done. I don't know what the secret to this. No, I'm lying to you. We've got 14. I'm sorry. It's stalled out. Now I'm wrong. Keep it going. Give me a thumbs up. PP Keller says, I always watch your stuff, brother. I'm planning to use one of your studs soon. Well, great. Wonderful. And actually, we're actually going to add in a slightly different program, I think, on the studs, where we're going to do some helping people on selling their dogs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up, and Cody's the one who gets to decide on this, and he hasn't given me the go-ahead yet. But I think the plan is is that we might put up a website where you can send us videos of your dogs. We will then take those videos, manipulate them so they look really pretty, and put them up on the website. And that's basically free for people who've used our studs and have paid the stud fee. So that's a new thing. You don't have to take advantage of it, but I think that's going to be pretty useful for people. So we're pretty good at taking videos and getting videos out of that by washing them through editing programs. Anyway, more of that later. Cynthia Gale, nice for you to be here, Cynthia. I have a question about AKCing the litter. How does it work when using someone else's stud dog? We have AKC numbers for the male. What's the next step the stud dog needs to do after I register online? Well, it's a great question. So, the process here is to register a dog with the AKC. Both dogs, mom and dad, have to be AKC numbered dogs, meaning they have an AKC number. And they both have to have full rights. So we're assuming that you've got that. So me as the stud owner, and you using my stud, this is the process. You have a litter of puppies, and we've hopefully been contacting you about this and keeping up with what's going on so we can help you out as we see, as you need us. But then we go give you the NP number. For a French Bulldog, it's an NP number. For other breeds, it's a different number, but it's basically a 7-digit number with 2 letters in front of it. And that is the AKC number of the stud. You need that along with the AKC number of your girl. You go online, you register the litter. The stud owner then receives an email that's, hey, here comes Tammy. You have to get in close because we've got to do this up and down.
Up and down, what happened?
No, I don't know why it did that. I mean, it's to do with the setup, but anyway, that's fine.
Looky there. This is my little boy that's available.
I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay.
There we go. There
Yeah.
we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
And he is my little fluffy carrier, testable chocolate, cocoa, blue, that means he carries, testable chocolate, cocoa, and blue. And he is a gobstopper son and a Willy Wonka grandson. And Kit's his mama. His mama weighs 17 pounds. Gobstopper weighs 22, 23. He is a full visual fluffy. Isabella, new shape Isabella.
All right, Tammy hijacked me, so I'm going to get back to answer the question as well.
Okay.
So back to the AKC thing. As a stud owner, you register online. I will then get an email from the AKC asking me to approve the litter, and which we do after any balance for a stud fee has been paid. We approve that. And within seconds of that happening, you will get an email back that says your litter's been approved. And then you'll get a litter registration paperwork in the mail. So the whole process typically takes just 4 or 5 days from when I approve till you see the litter registration paperwork in the mail. Hope that answers your question. Oh, Tanya's Collector says you deserve all the likes. Best breeder on the YouTube. Amazing videos. Well, thank you very much. I don't know if we're the best breeders on YouTube. But we try to be one of the best, that's this is about, it's like I was watching the debate the other day and I was listening to Trump and Biden, which by the way, I don't know who there's no good choices on this, but it's like, I want to go Trump on you. It's like, we're the best, we're absolutely, and it's like, no, we're not the best, but we try to do good stuff. Anyway, enough of that.
There's lots of other good breeders out there.
Absolutely, you bet there are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cody's one of them.
Yeah, that's my son.
Our daughter's one of them. Chanel.
Yeah, Chanel's one of them. Cherub's one of them.
John Milo has just Elroy's are just about dried up. Pups eating life's abundance, but they won't stop suckling on each other. That can't be good. Now, what do you think, Tammy?
I think that's just puppies.
Yeah.
How old are they? Because sometimes if they're real young, they'll try to still nurse.
Mom's dried up, so they're probably like 7 weeks old.
Sometimes maybe and maybe not, depending on when he. Sorry about my hair.
But I mean, I think about, we've had dogs before we've bought from other places come into our fold, and they're now 4 months old and they're suckling.
Sophia will nurse on her toys.
Yes.
And she's 7, 8 months. Oh, she's 9 months now.
More. Yeah.
So she nurses on her little toys or blanket.
You're not going to hurt anything.
Or bedding.
Yeah.
No.
There's not a thing you can do about it. It's just like a child with a pacifier. It makes them feel better. So I think that don't get too worried about it.
Yep. I need to
Above
pull
all
my
the King
questions
says, going to get his big rope. Well, good. We've got a big rope. So yeah, good for you. We have a big rope boy. What's that boy's name?
His name is Tank,
That's
and
right,
he
Tank.
is a Rolls-Royce son.
Yeah, got good lineage, right?
Yeah, from Mo.
Yeah. John Malone says 6 weeks, so they're 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
they're pretty young.
I mean,
Because ours is 7 weeks.
and they still do a little bit of nursing, maybe what?
Well, they're still nursing on mama.
10 minutes a day,
Yeah, but now they're going one time a day.
but it's not very long.
So maybe they were taken
Yeah.
away a little bit early. Who knows?
John Rodriguez says, good evening. What is the best practice to wake up chilled semen once it received from shipping? You shouldn't have to wake it up. So the thing about, there you go. The thing about chilled semen is the critical part is, well, there's lots of critical parts, but in terms of temperature, you've got to cool it down very slowly from room temperature to as close to freezing as you can get without freezing it over a period of about 4.5 hours. Once you receive it, there is no protocol for warming it up. You can warm it up immediately. So if you freeze it, if you cool it down too quickly, you cold shock it and you'll damage the semen. But the warming up process, not important. And by the way, the volume that you're talking about, 2, 3, 4, 5 cc's, it's going to warm up really quickly when you bring it out to room temperature anyway. I mean, if you put it into a syringe, probably within 5 minutes, it's going to be at room temperature anyway, so it's not a problem. Jay Finesse, it says, how much do big rope puppies sell for? Well,
they're all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know the answer because I had a big rope velvet, and so that was should have been a lot more expensive dog than what we sold it for, but it was an expensive dog, but it was pretty highly bred too. So I don't know. We haven't produced one from all puppies, well, except for that one that I told you about. So I'm not very experienced with that.
How come my picture won't come up? I've been
Would a regular? No, it's up right for me. Robert Felix says, do you all like kois? Well, what do you know about kois, Tammy?
Oh, I think they're unusual. They're kind of cool. I don't know very much about them. I just think they're unique. That's what I usually go for. I think they're nice.
I don't know.
But I don't know anything about it.
We don't have a koi.
Where
So because of that, we're not reversed in it. So this is one of the problems about what's been going on. Since COVID, when prices got stupid crazy, everybody's, we all understand that the prices have been completely reset. They're back to where they were pre-COVID. So, a blue and tan dog pre-COVID might have been a $4,000 or $5,000 dog, and it's a 4 or 5. Obviously prices range by the quality of the dog and the pedigree and who's selling it, so on and so forth. But it's still there's a $4,000 or $5,000 dog today. When COVID was going full tilt, it was a lot more money than that. So back then, fluffies were really the new thing.
You got me.
So everybody's trying to come up with new stuff because they think they're going to get back to where the fluffies were. And I think the answer to this is it's probably not going to happen. So they're not saying that you shouldn't. So I'm not going to, or Tammy won't let me. Tammy's not going to let me invest tons of money in a koi, are you? William?
Not unless I see something that's super attractive.
Okay. But you're pretty cautious, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't, we're part of the herd. We don't start experimenting pretty much with stuff that's not fairly well proven. That doesn't mean that you should do that, but we're pretty conservative. So there you go.
Yep. Okay, so Nacho Line says, would a regular baby bottle work on feeding 2-week-old puppies? Yes, it will. You can feed 2-week-old puppies. Look at mama's teats. They're as big as a baby nipple. Make sure you get the kind that's quit chomping your eyes. You'll hear it on the deal. So it's the silicone nipples that you get.
So we're talking about a human baby bottle.
Right.
You buy it at Walmart.
Right.
With a 0 to 3 month silicone nipple.
Those ones that you buy at like Tractor Supply that are for puppies, they're little bitty skinny things. Don't get those. Just get a regular baby bottle.
I was at the vet the other day and I saw him selling those things. It's like, what are you doing? This is just rubbish. They're little tiny skinny things and with little tiny teats on the end of them. No.
I'd feed a baby rabbit with that.
Yeah, right, or bird.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
or bird.
But yeah, the 2-week-old puppies will be able to handle the nipple on a baby bottle, a human baby bottle.
Yeah, I mean, it looks huge, but you'd be surprised. So there's a
He was looking at you.
There's always
Yeah,
a bit of a
he's
battle the
baby.
first time that you bottle feed a puppy because it doesn't recognize the feel of the silicone nipple. They like that better than a latex, well, not latex, but a rubber one. But you have to kind of open their mouth out, stick it in, and then they'll kind of tentatively bite it, and they'll get a bit of milk in their mouth, and then they'll go after it. But do be careful. Sometimes you can get a nipple that the hole's too big, and it can flood a puppy. So what you want to do is you want to warm milk. Fill the
Always
bottle up.
test it on the wrist like you do
Yeah,
for
or
a
squirt it in
baby.
your mouth. It's not going to hurt you. Just make sure it's not too hot. Turn it upside down and make sure the milk's just not rushing out of there. It shouldn't really hardly come out at all. Now, if it's been a little while upside down, the warm goat's milk will warm the air up above it, and it'll make that air expand, and that will push the milk out. So be careful about that. You can just invert it back and turn it around again, and it shouldn't start free flowing. If it is, then you need to get another nipple. There's nothing you can do about that. If you've got a nipple that's just not opened up at all, go get yourself a safety pin and a lighter. Get the safety pin red hot and push that into the tip of the nipple. That will stop it from splitting, and that works well to open the nipple up. Mills just bought a fluffy male. Super excited. Well, good for you. We've got quite a few fluffy males. They've been very good for us.
I think Cody's got some fluffies.
He does. Out here in Nova Scotia, they average between 3,000 to 5,000. Fluffies are 5,000. Yeah, so those prices are down from what they were for sure. So we
Everywhere is a little different.
That's right. Yes. And I mean, I don't know how long
Depends
you do.
if your fluffy carries brindle. That has a lot to do with cheaper prices or lower prices, should I say? Depending on what the DNA is, makes the price difference on your full fluffies.
Yeah, for sure.
And confirmation. That's
Yeah.
always the plus.
Yes. Confirmation, pedigree, who's selling the dog, what are things you're adding to help with the sale, are you doing things for somebody after the fact, all those things factor into it. Then the other thing is remember that there's lots of you who are in areas of the country where people aren't going to spend $5,000 on a dog. Well, what you need to do is you need to be marketing your dog in a bigger area and then enlist a nanny service. And one that I've used today, I've got a dog going out today from Medford, Oregon. I used Pet Jet Pals, and their prices are really pretty affordable. I mean, $550 to $650 is typically what they charge, major airport to major airport. So the name of that outfit, we've used them a few times, and I don't consider them to be the best out there, but they've still done fine for us. And the name of that company is Pet Pal Jets, or Pet Jet Pals. That's it, Pet Jet Pals. Quality French of Watch, it says, is a velvet basically double lilac? No. It is a different gene that is associated with the velvet. And so they look kind of Shar-Pei-ish. They have really wrinkled up skin, and there's a gene in there that causes this. And they have a single copy of it, so you typically pass it on to half the litter. So it's not a color gene, it's a different gene. Gina Sales says, hope you're having a blessed Sunday. We are. Joe Ortiz. How many people got signed up here? Oh, a couple of blockers. 28.
No, but I want to tell a little bit more about my puppy, and then I'll go put him up.
Well, actually, you know what we're going to do too?
What?
We're going to take our camera over there.
No, we're not. It's not cleaned up.
I told you wouldn't let it do it.
Nope. You should have told me, and I would have cleaned it up. Nope, nope, nope.
You can't do it?
Nope. Cannot do it.
If everybody asks really nicely?
No.
Okay.
No way.
All right.
Say
Sorry.
no way, Jose.
Debo. Sorry.
Anyway, so I'm going to
Debbie, yeah.
tell you about him. And what he can produce for you if you use him for a stud. He is, since he carries the testable chocolate and the cocoa and the blue, he is, and of course, the fluffy carrier. He can produce full fluffies. He can produce new shade Isabellas. He can produce rojos and tans. He can produce lilac and tans, blue and tans, chocolate and tans, and full fluffies, of course. And so remember, his granddaddy is Willy Wonka, and his daddy is Gobstopper, which weighs 22, 23 pounds, and his mom is Kit, a year hero, and she weighs 17 pounds. So this guy will probably weigh 22, 23 pounds.
Right, so back to...
He's a pretty boy, and he's available.
Nacho Line said he was asked about the regular baby bottle. He didn't have much luck with it. I'm not sure what the problems were you were having. So one of the problems you can have is...
Well, sometimes the nipple's on there too tight and it won't let it come through.
Oh, that's a good point.
Always check to see how fast it's running out.
Right. So if it won't come out at all, you may crack the top slightly so you can get air to get back in to replace the milk that's coming out. That typically doesn't run into a problem until you've been feeding for a few minutes before that happens. I'm going to drag this forward a little bit. Tammy's gone off to go put a puppy out. BJ Wells, if my female lilac merle visual fluffy is 80, that's 10 points. Big B, not testable chocolate. Little CO, which is cocoa. Little D, which means this is a lilac dog. Little EM, little E means it's a mastiff that carries cream. No brindle, and a stud is 80, we know we're going to get all 10 points. Little B, it means that every puppy will carry a copy of testable. Big CO, little CO means that half the dogs will get little CO. Big D, little d, half the dogs will get little d. So, you know, visual, fluffy, quality structure, what kind of pups am I going to, NS, right. So the answer is you're going to get blues, chocolates, creams, and a combination of that lot, and they're all going to be fluffies, and they're all going to carry testable chocolate, and some of them will carry pie. So there you go, big mix. Here's one for Tammy. Joe Ortiz says, how often do you feed mush and how much?
So when he said mush, quit chomping your ass, because everybody can hear that on there. It sounds horrible. You can tell how old James is. Anyway, if you're talking about mush.
You get all Biden on me if you can't answer the question. You're blaming me for being old and incompetent.
Why would I be wearing a shirt that says George for president, King George for president?
Oh yeah, there you go. Let's go back to 1776.
I wouldn't go.
When he kicked the British out, you buggers.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so mush, James is saying mush. Mush is, you're talking about puppies that are just starting to eat, I guess. And for how long? And it would be, if you started this at 4.5, 5 weeks old, you would probably, I think you could do it for about 5 days like that. That might be a little bit long. And then gradually.
5 days like what? You got me lost. 5 days like what?
On mush.
As opposed to not much. Just give you that look.
Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and say what I was saying.
Go ahead.
You can start feeding those puppies at 4.5 weeks to 5 weeks, the real gravy type mush, and then probably do that for 3 to 5 days, and then gradually make it a little thicker each time. And then, who's Biden now? Anyway, so you add it a little bit thicker each time. By the time they're 6 weeks old, you can probably do the whole kibble with hot water for about 45 minutes till it's soft and spongy, and then they can start eating that.
So I'm going to add some things to this. They need to have teeth, which typically teeth start showing up at about 4 weeks?
No, teeth are in at 3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay.
They start coming in at 3 weeks, finish up probably, they're still coming in at 4 weeks.
When you start doing this, the smaller puppies will have the harder time with it. Mm-hmm. Typically the bigger dogs are getting after it and doing good. So watch out for the smaller ones.
And if you want, add goat's milk to it too,
absolutely.
when you first start it out.
Yeah, but when you do the mush, don't take them off mum, let them have mum too. So what we do is this, we put the mush out, we let them eat it, mum's away.
That's just one time a day. I do it when I'm first starting it out.
You do it twice a day, don't you?
When I'm first starting out, one time a day. He's not listening.
Mum gets out of the area, give her own food, let them have at it until they've had enough. Mm-hmm. And that will typically be maybe 10 minutes at the most. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yep. So when they've had enough, then we let mum in, and mum can eat up the rest of it. Be careful about mums getting aggressive towards puppies that are eating their food. So you can see puppies that are in there with the mum. Mum's got her food in there, and puppies start licking on the bowl, and mum doesn't like it. Kit, our dog Kit's not like that at all. She's just going to back off and let her do what that. But just be careful about that. And then, like Tammy says, you're going to gradually. So how much mush? As much as they eat in 10 minutes. That's about it. And you'll get.
And then, you know, whatever's left over. I'd start out with a cup. That way you're not wasting a lot of food. Do a cup worth, if that. Depending on how many puppies. If you got about 4 puppies, do about a cup.
Right.
And then the mom can have the rest of it that they're not finishing up on.
Right.
And then start gradually adding it twice a day when they're about 5 weeks and 6 weeks.
So this is an interesting one. George Rodriguez says, have you done line breeding with father-daughter or grandfather-granddaughter? Any advice given? All genetics and blood tests are clear. So the answer on this is, we accidentally
did.
bred
A father-daughter.
father-daughter, right?
And we have not done that again.
And we didn't realize that until the
No,
customer who
okay.
brought the dog called up, this is a long time ago, and said, you bred this to the father. So what I said was, yes, that was, we had not realized we'd done that. We had a lot of stud dogs then, like we do now. And what I said was, look, if there's any problems, I'll back it up. There weren't any problems. The dog was actually healthy as a
A
horse.
big super no-no is mother-son. You do not.
Well, I'm not sure the difference
Yeah,
between
it
mother, son, or daughter,
No.
father. Well, yeah, genetically, I wouldn't think there's
A
any
vet will
difference.
tell you.
Okay. Well, look, let's talk about why you would do this and why you shouldn't do this.
AKC show people are known to have done brother-sister because they want to win that trophy.
Which is even worse, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
way worse,
So
way worse.
So there's a couple of interesting questions here as to, number one, what's the problem? So AKC has no rules on this. You can breed whatever you want to whatever you want. If it's an AKC Frenchie to an AKC Frenchie, all they have is an age restriction. Dogs have got to be 7 months or older or something like that, depending on if it's a boy or a girl. So why do people do this? Because they are looking to reinforce something special that they produce because they want to probably put it in the showroom.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's the downside of this? The downside of this is that there are recessive genes that Tammy has and I have, but we don't match up those recessive genes. And because of that, our offspring don't get 2 copies of the same recessive gene, and they don't have that problem. But when you start mucking around with line breeding, then the chances are the recessive genes are coming down together from both sides because it's a common ancestor, and they start to match up, and you get these really bad things that are happening. A case in point would be the kings and queens of Europe, the Habsburg line, where, I mean, you see pictures of...
There was a lot of inbreeding going on there, and it was awful.
So what
And
they
it showed up. They were crazy.
They did. It had the haemophilia. They had the last one. The last of the Habsburgers. I can't think of his name now. I think it was Charles from Spain. You know, he got misformed face, stunted, couldn't have any kids, was impotent. You know, just all kinds of bad things happened to him. So they did it, of course, because they were protecting their bloodline, because they didn't want us commoners, like you and me and everybody else listening, getting in on their game. But our recommendation to you would be this. I wouldn't do it. I mean, grandfather to, you know, I think the last one you asked about here was, what was it? Grandfather to granddaughter. That is separated quite a bit. That one is the least painful of the whole lot. Mother, son, daughter, sister, brother. Those are a little bit scary. When you start getting to grandparents, then you've got 4 grandparents, so you've actually got 4 times as much genetic material as if you bred a father to a daughter, and that's got twice as much genetic material as if you bred a brother and sister. So there you go. Mr. Clean, I have a shipmate. Well, great, you bought our shipmate. Thank you very much. Can I ship that on a 2-day shipment? You bet you can. It'll work great. Just as long as the secret to shipmate is you've got to have enough ice in the box that the ice is not completely melted before the shipment arrives. If you use the box that we provide, which is a Polar Tech 205C box, it's good for about 3 days in the winter and 2 days in the heat of summer. And you can do a lot longer than that if you build yourself a bigger box, and I've done this. I've had boxes that last for 8 days. Huge boxes with lots of insulation, a lot of ice. Sheena says, Sheena likes your puppy.
Thank you. Call me. He needs a home. He needs a Kit.
Kit said yes, too. Kit said, yeah, needs a home.
Yeah. No, he needs a home. The other two are sold, so that's why I was just bringing him out here. But yeah, he's a pretty thing. And you know, if you just get him as a pet, also, it's someone to love, someone to tell your secrets to, someone to hug and give good kisses to. You know, he can be your best friend.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
I see hawk tour. I don't know what hawk tour is. I guess we're too old to understand what hawk tour is. I see this all the time here recently. Hawk tour. People talk about. Somebody enlighten me. What?
Anyway, my phone number is 580-799-1910 if you want to buy that little boy. Give him a good home.
Where do you guys have Mandalorian? Mandalorian is with Cody in Elk City, Oklahoma. Yeah. If you want to use them, call Cody up.
You bet.
806-664-0173. I'll talk
Slow
to you about
down. 806-664-0173. And if he doesn't answer, please leave that message on the phone and send a text. They get so many spam calls that if you don't leave a message and send a text, he's not going to, you know, call you back. So if you send the message, leave a text, he will definitely call you back ASAP. And, you know, just keep on trying. So you will get a hold of him. And
Sheena Sales says, I love this channel, I'm still learning. Great. So
we do too. We do too.
Yeah.
I mean, we get people to say stuff on here and we go, oh,
you know what
just like we don't know what the koi is. I don't know exactly.
Today?
What
hawk tour is.
Yeah, did you?
No, not yet.
Oh, not
Nobody's
yet.
told me what hawk tour is. Somebody out there knows.
I mean, this is a learning channel as far as I'm concerned.
Rad Gaming says grandfather to granddaughter happens a lot when trying to get a certain look in the bloodline. I mean, sure. I mean, again, for the show ring, yes, but not something that we do. But look, there's nothing says you can't do it. I mean, there can be repercussions for doing this. You know, you can have some things that happen to puppies that if you're prepared for that because you want a special puppy and you're prepared for maybe having a problem, then go for it. Love doing it myself. Hi, James and Tammy. We had puppies last year, and I want to say thank you for all your help. We raised a healthy lipper. We appreciate your support. We really do. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good for you.
Good news for you.
Yes.
That was great.
Hey. Sheena Sales says his brain went to mush.
Who? Yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. See there? You were blaming me for being...
T. Stanley, how's the market in Connecticut, New York? We are planning on having our first litter. I think the market's kind of stabilized. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's you know, it's definitely, again, if you look at these COVID prices, the prices were crazy.
People need to forget when the prices were way sky high during COVID. It's not going to be like that ever again. So just already put in your head, you know, that it's not going to be like that again. Quit chomping the ice. Y'all tell James quit chomping the ice.
If you can hear me chomping the ice, let me know. I don't think they can hear it.
Oh, I do. Just goes right through my head. Yeah, somebody said crunch, crunch, crunch.
Oh,
LOL. Yeah.
I wish I could just block people. Quality Frenchies. Advice on fluffy fur texture.
Did you read the one about the 8-day-old puppies?
I'll get to this. Give me the answer.
Okay.
I'm going to let you answer this one. This is the Quality French of WA, of Washington. Where are you at?
Right there?
Yes. No, not right there. I'll read it to you. Advice on fluffy fur texture. Got a fluffy
right
lilac platinum 9-month-old with a bit of a rough fur. First fluffy I've seen in person, but was expecting silky soft.
There's no answer for that. I've got a fluffy that's like a fuzzball, like literally like when her hair it's like the cottonwood trees floating through the air. That's that's what hers is. Every Frenchie is different.
That's right. Well, I mean, not every one, but they're definitely.
The texture.
It's different. Some of them are curly like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Which is the dog that Cody's got?
C2 is the curly.
Yes, but if fluffy with curls
Yeah.
is really Cody's got a dog that's really curly.
I think that's the big rope that does that.
I think it is, right. So, you can it's interesting, you can have a fluffy carrier, which you think you wouldn't be
And
able to
Denali has a little bit of curl
He
too.
he does. So you can have a single copy fluffy, and you can sometimes see that in their fur. This litter here doesn't show it, but sometimes it
Denali is a bad action son, and
Yes.
yeah, he's got a little bit of curl
Yes.
to his coat.
Right. So anyway, so there you go. So if you're expecting silky soft, then some yes, some no. Does the fur grow longer and softer as puppies grow? Well, certainly when they're born, it may be very hard. If you have a litter of fluffies and fluffy carriers, it's always a bit of a battle, isn't it, for us? Telling, you've got to do DNA to find out. It's fairly obvious typically by the time they're like 5, 6
James
weeks
and
old.
I argued on what litter? What was that dog's name on her litter? And it was like, oh my gosh. So I like doing the tests for full fluffy and
Yeah,
fluffy
absolutely.
carriers.
Peter Jacob purchased your incubator and it arrived the other day in such a great quality
Good.
product. Well, good for you. Thank you very much. It is a great product.
The incubators are so important to have if you're going to be raising puppies. And the heated whelping system, that whole setup is fantastic to get. And you can get that on our website. It's mybreedersupply.com. And
we're fixing to
need
have a
'em.
special.
we also have the oxygen concentrators.
We do. We're fixing to have a special that's going to start here probably maybe tomorrow or Tuesday for basically July the 4th special. And that's going to be,
Take advantage of it.
it's going to be the heated whelping kit.
You
It's going to be the incubator.
will not be sorry that you
It's
did
going to be
it.
the puppy care kit, and it's going to be a couple of other items like a feeding bowl and some tags. All of that stuff is a 33% discount.
Oh,
there's-
wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
You can save about $240
Yeah.
on all that stuff. It's
That's
about normally
good.
670, $680 worth. It's going to be like $250. It's going to be
What's
about $450.
670?
That's what it all costs normally.
What all?
Incubator, heated whelping kit, puppy care kit, feeding bowl, dog
Oh,
tags.
it's a set.
Yeah, Cody's
Together,
Cody's
okay.
doing a
I didn't know that.
Breed Essential package for July
Okay.
4th. So
Take advantage of it.
Yes.
It's important to have all that stuff.
it really is. And there's
Especially-
nothing there that you don't need. There's no fluff in this. This is all stuff that
In
you
that
should have.
puppy care kit, you get that feeding tube in there too. That's super
And
nice.
that's how you can hardly buy at the vet.
I know it.
Wow.
I know it.
And that's just the other day someone was saying, what do I need a stethoscope? It's like, because if you don't have a stethoscope, you can't listen for heart, you can't listen for heart murmurs, you can't listen for intestinal sounds, you can't listen for pneumonia and lung problems. With a stethoscope, you can. And even if you don't know how to use it, you can use it successfully because you compare the sound with the other puppies. Because almost always there's a single, one or two puppies that are having problems, not the whole litter. And the comparative sound tells you right away. There's things like heart murmurs. If you've never heard a heart murmur, when you listen to some puppies, should go dub 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 dub. If you go dub sh dub dub sh dub, you've got a heart murmur, and you can immediately
A
compare.
real bad one sounds like a washing machine,
Sounds like a
literally.
washing machine. You can a grade 6 you
Yeah.
can hear outside the dog.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear, you can
You
feel
can
it.
feel
and hear
it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
But the point here is there's some things there's no fluff in that stuff that Cody's got. It's all stuff that you absolutely should have. All right.
Take advantage of it. Big time.
Here's a good question from Nacho Line. Another pup question. When do they create their own heat? 3 weeks or higher? We take the heat off at 4 weeks. So what you'll find is
I don't.
okay.
I like
Well,
to keep it on until they're at least
our
6
heated whelping
weeks.
kits around the outside, and you can see whether they're still staying around the outside.
In the wintertime, if you've got tile floors without any heated floors,
Yeah.
you definitely want to keep it.
What we do is we take the pig rail out so they get more room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and remember that here's the thing about heat. If you've got the perimeter heated system that we sell, puppies will regulate themselves if they want. It's just like you going to a fireplace on a winter's night. You're not going to sit till you're so close to the fire that you're getting scorched on one side. You'll move away a little bit, and that's exactly what puppies will do. You can't make it too hot. They'll just move.
You never did answer that one.
Okay.
And you said you'd get back to it. It's vibes.
8-day-old puppies. So this is Vibizen says 8-day-old puppies have irritation blood inside and around the anal glands. Would you know the cause of this and any advice on what to do to help them? Got any thoughts, Tammy?
8 years old. Mama's cleaning them too good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So what would I do? I would
continue licking and licking and licking and licking.
Yeah. I would go get some Neosporin and put them on their butts. That's probably what it is. If they're not straining to poop, but they just got raw, it's probably because mum's cleaning them up too much. Probably what's going on. So, you know...
And sometimes that's nerves, the mama
Yeah.
dog. If it's a first-time mama, she's nervous.
Yes.
And she's just continually clean them and clean them and
Right.
cleaning them.
Yep, right,
Yeah.
exactly. So Neosporin, you know, your first worming comes at 2 weeks with parental paramate on EMX2. You could put, you know, if it was that, which I doubt that's what the situation, because it wouldn't show up that way, but if there's blood in the stool, I'd bring that forward a little bit, and I'd probably do that at 10 days versus 2 weeks. So I got that one. There's the brain went to mush. Thanks a lot, Sheena. Blah blah goes says the incubator. Rad Gaming says, what are y'all's opinion on under 20-pound bulky look on Frenchies? Mostly seen in Frenchies from California.
Bulky looking 20-pound Frenchies.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm wondering, how bulky are we talking about? Are you thinking that they're using steroids? Is it that kind of bulky where it looks like they've just muscle bound like Popeye, or, you know, are they just heavy set Frenchies? I'm not.
So when you see a 20-pound Frenchie, when it's fully grown, that's a smaller Frenchie. And so some of those dogs don't look very good, and some of them do. So I don't like to see, and Tammy doesn't like, a really skinny-looking dog, do you?
No,
you want
I
a
don't.
dog. I don't get so worried about the weight. I want to see a dog that's not a big dog that does have a bit of bulk to it. Right? You agree? Yeah. You want to see some turkey legs, decent hindquarters.
Yeah,
got a
well,
rump on
that
it.
comes with the structure of a well-bred dog.
Well, that's right.
Okay.
Well, like the little dog you
But
just brought out.
if
I'm
they're
absolutely like that.
doing steroids on a dog where it
Do they do
looks
that?
like it's yeah, they can.
Oh, do they?
They
Didn't know about
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
By the way, someone said, the Tour Hawk says you don't want to know what that means.
What?
They don't tell me. They just I don't want to know.
Oh, that what
it's
they
something
said?
naughty.
The hawk.
Oh, here we go. Natural Line says hawk tour is a sound that you make when you spit.
Oh.
Oh. Tour.
Okay.
Kids
Okay.
barking. which
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah. Quit.
Sheena says I'm going to get spanked after the show. That might be fun.
Okay.
We are going with Cody. So this is T. Stanley says we're going with Cody's Isabella Newshade. I love this dog. That's Gobstopper.
Gobstopper.
Those are the
That's the daddy to
the
these
puppies
babies
saw.
that I have.
They are awesome
Yeah.
little puppies.
Cody also has a litter that's Gobstopper's babies too.
He had a big litter.
Yes.
That second rattle out of the box, big litter. I think he had
Mm-hmm.
like 9 or 10 puppies. He's pretty happy with that.
And then he's got
Right.
6.
Okay, Flip Lou says, what do you all do for shedding? Thoughts on heartworm and flea medication? Well, I've got all kinds of ideas on this. Let's see where Tammy goes with this.
For shedding,
Yes.
baths. Make sure you risk what?
No, that's not what I was going to say, but you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Baths.
Yeah, you want to give them baths. You don't want to overdo the baths, but you want to make sure you completely rinse them off.
How often do you give a
real
bath?
good. Oh, I'd say maybe some people wait every 2 weeks, but once a
Okay.
week's good.
Yeah. Some people give baths a lot less than that too.
Mm-hmm.
So baths. Again, I think giving a brush.
Now, different times a year, they'll
Okay.
shed some.
Okay.
Weather change.
Coming out of winter, getting into
Right.
to spring.
Springtime.
Yep. Good point.
Can lose hair too.
Right. You know what I was
Sometimes their food.
You know what I was going to say?
they
You'll
gotta-
agree with me when I say it.
What?
Get a fluffy.
Oh, fluffy carriers. If they have the no shed gene.
All the fluffies we've ever produced don't. I mean, they don't hardly shed at all.
We got lucky and we've had the no shed gene.
Kit here, who's the litter that you saw that puppy from, that's one of Kit's. I tell you what, I'll go put her on my lap
Oh my
every day.
word, Kit sheds galore. But it just takes one copy of the
Yeah, she
no
sheds
shed
like crazy. She's
gene.
got a little short napped head,
That keeps them from
thick
shedding
fur,
like that.
not very long, but it sheds like crazy, that dog. And the thing that we do with her is to give her a good brushing. You just get some of that loose stuff off.
Oh yeah.
But it's
yeah,
not much else
especially when she was with these puppies. I've never seen her. This is her last litter. I've never seen her shed
Well, that's
as
another
much
thing,
as
isn't
she
it? It's
did.
called a blown coat, isn't it?
Yeah.
She blew
But
her
I
coat.
mean, she blew her coat before, but not like this.
Yeah, so
I
blown
mean, she
coats-
literally had places that she just had skin.
Yeah.
I've never seen her do that
And
before.
it grew back pretty quick. But a
Yeah,
blown,
it did, but
a blown coat is because of the dog's
hormones and
your hormones and having to make puppies and pulling proteins out of its body.
okay. He
Blown
asked
coat.
something else too, along about the shedding.
So heartworm and flea medication. So heartworming, what we use is we use Ivomec.
Now you don't want to do this when your dog's pregnant.
That's right. Absolutely
And
not.
then there's some stuff that you can't give your dog if she's planning on to be pregnant in a few months, you know. So,
Read the label.
yeah.
read the label.
Well, and ask the vet.
Yes, but absolutely read the label too, because sometimes vet get things wrong. Read the label. Ivomec is what we use, an injectable used for cattle. And that's what we use for heartworms. It's cheap, it's easy to administer. You do it orally. You asked something else too. What was the other thing you asked? Where is it? I lost it. Oh, where was that, Tammy?
I don't know.
Well, we'll get back to it here in a second.
Right here. Heartworm and flea medication and the shedding. That's all he
So
asked.
flea medication, Bravecto is good. There's a number of oral things that you can give. Again, don't give them to pregnant dogs. Bravecto says it's okay, but I wouldn't give it. If you've got a pregnant dog or a dog that's nursing, Adam's flea and tick spray, topical spray.
Good
Spray it.
stuff. And
Spray
if they're nursing, you only spray the top part of their back and
Why?
rub it in, because if it rolls down to where the nipples are and
No.
they're nursing,
It's not good for the
you're-
puppies.
yeah, it's
Right.
not good for the puppies.
Right.
Somebody put on here, hit, like, and follow. So true, so true.
Yep.
Candy cane Frenchies.
Flip News says hit the like and follow. Let's have a
That's
look
what I
at
just
this.
said.
We've got 28.
Did you not hear me?
Oh no, sorry.
Hey, I said that earlier. Did you not hear me?
Turn the camera so I can just do this. I can smack you one time.
I'll hit you back. Candy cane Frenchies. I learned so much from you guys. Thank you for all so much for what you do. Okay.
Yeah, welcome. Capital Productions likes our house. Thank you. Blah, blah,
genetic
blah.
requirements. Okay, what is the genetic requirements to produce a year hero?
Yes.
Gotta have cream,
You've got to have maskless.
maskless,
Got to be maskless. So you've got to either be.
AY.
You can't be 2 copies of cream. You can be little e, little em. Or you could be. You might be able to be little em, little em. You've got to be. You can't be.
What
10
is
point-
that?
That's the E locus.
What is that?
Little em is maskless. Little
Okay.
em, little em would be maskless.
Okay.
Also, little em, little e is maskless, and little em, big e is maskless.
Mm-hmm.
If it's got a big em in there, you're not getting a Euro Hero. You're going to get. Those dogs are all masked. They've all got
Mm-hmm.
big ems.
And they have to have AY, either AYT,
Yes.
or did I say that wrong?
I think-
ATAY. No, AYAT or AYA or AYAY.
I don't know about the AYA
Well,
one.
I
You
think
might
it's
be
the
right.
AY.
I don't know.
I think it's the AY.
Yeah, and you can't be blue and you can't
Fawn.
be chocolate. But to my
Fawn or
knowledge.
sable.
Yeah.
I think it is AY.
So we've got a Euro Hero, which is Kit. Unfortunately, we won't have any more Euro Heroes because this is like Kit's last litter. So we've had some Euro Heroes, but none in this litter. And that's because we wanted to go with Gobstopper and we knew we weren't going to get any.
And it's not just because she is at her third litter. It's because she was letting us know. Because I've had females do
Yes.
up 5 litters.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just because she just, for some reason, you know, is
Took a long
thinning
time
and-
between heats.
Yeah, was a year and a half.
This-
And then, this last heat was. And then
Thinning uterus.
thinning uterus.
Which is the really big
and
thing.
the thickening of the scar.
Yep. So
Oh,
those things-
my foot's going to sleep when I'm sitting on it. Oh, hurts. So that's why. And I told my vet, I said we were going to
Yep.
have her
Yep.
fixed.
Angela Blythe,
After
we've-
she's weaned her puppies.
We've got a lot of questions to go through here because
Okay.
we're running out of time. Angela Blythe, I have 2 weeks old Bostons right now and a litter of French is due 14th of July. Good for you.
Woo! you're going to be busy.
Go look at Cody's stuff for this special.
Oh
because you need
yeah,
that
that's
stuff.
special. You
Right.
need it. The heated whelping system, the
Love to- yep.
incubator, travel
And the
incubator,
puppy care kit, right.
puppy care kit. It's got a special going on for the 4th.
Right.
So take
Love-
advantage of it.
Love doing it myself. Said I literally resuscitated and incubated and tube fed my smallest pup a few times, and I learned very much from you guys. The
Good.
heated system is wonderful too. You're right. You can save puppies, but you've got to have the right equipment. You've got to know how to do
Right.
it. So if you don't have the right equipment, you shoot yourself in the foot right away. So Lou and Kelly says, I enjoy your Sunday nights live so much. I have an English lab scheduled for OFA testing in August. Do you recommend any other testing? Is the vision testing needed? Out of the lab world, I don't know. You're going to have to ask people who are lab people to find out the answer about whether or not this is an important thing or not. Debio says, October going to pay off stud fee now, fee November, needs ship for one of your studs. Okay, good, great. A Rad Gaming talks about heavy muscle set when he's talking about that bulky look, heavy muscle set. I mean, this is what you see in these bullies, isn't it? These mini bullies. How you get that, I don't know. I forgot to ask, this is BJ Wells, what kind of pups am I looking for with my female? Visual Fluffy, the stud carries one copy of pink. I don't know how the pink's going to work. Sorry, I can't answer that question. I just don't know. Sheena says no shed would be amazing. Yeah, go get into Fluffies, because I think you'll find most of them are.
That's what that little boy is.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for a little boy with everything that he carries, what he can produce for you, please call me and I can review you or go over what he can produce for you. Phone number 580-799-1910 on the little boy I have for sale.
Candy Cane, how many puppies would you expect to have if the dog has a surgical? Well, it's not really to do with that. So
It's timing,
to
the numbers.
To maximize the litter size, timing, decent semen, and then how many eggs does she drop? And all of those things will determine. So surgical is not necessarily any better than TCI or vaginal. What I like to do is 2 vaginals 2 days apart, but it's all about timing. And I mean, we've had litters as big on Frenches as 12
And we
puppies.
sell the progesterone machine too also.
Getting testing done.
Is that going to be a special too or no?
No.
So we got the progesterone machine to sell on our
You answer this one,
website as
Tammy.
well.
Kylie Gray, I'm rushing through this. I have a 6-month-old puppy and my older dog, and how do I get them to get along? Both are Frenches.
Be patient. Let them smell a toy that they've been playing with. Get the odor from the other dog. Rub it around on that other dog. Just be gradually and slow. Just take your time.
So you can. It's typically if you've got a male dog you bring in with a female or vice versa, there's not normally a problem. When you bring in 2 females or 2 males, there can be a problem. And remember that young dogs brought in, you tend to fawn over them and pay a lot of attention to them, and the older dog can get pissed off.
And normally
jealous.
Frenchies are pretty easygoing.
Yes.
They like
Yes. So I've
everybody and everything.
I take them outside and play with them. Let them go play ball together, fetch, and do those kind of things together. And kind of, if they've got some behavior you don't like, then step in and reprimand them. And if you like behavior that's going well, take some treats out there with you and give them treats. So, yeah.
Okay, somebody, No Mo Worries wants to know if you've ever heard of a fluffy Frenchie having issues with testicles not dropping by 6 months.
Well, it's not just
Doesn't even
fluffy.
have to be a full fluffy to
Any dog.
have issues.
Any dog.
It's any dog can have that problem. It just happens sometimes.
So what's going on here is there's the little channel in the inguinal gap on the thigh where the testicles drop through into the scrotum. And if they don't drop through by 6 months, they probably won't drop through. And those dogs probably need to be spayed because they can get testicular cancer, and it's a hereditary element. They're not good candidates for breeding. So the correct response to this is, if it's not happened by 6 months, it's not going to happen. Time to spay the dog.
Okay, what should I feed Mama to help her produce more milk? So we always feed Bill Jack if you're able to get Bill Jack a week before her babies come. And after their babies are born, it's good to give them cottage cheese. That helps with milk production. And if you need to, goat's milk would also help her too. Anything to help with the calcium, and then...
Fenugreek seed.
Oh, yeah.
So I've never used it. I know that humans use it, but fenugreek seed supposedly can help milk production. So, you run into these problems, first-time mums. Sometimes mums never produce milk worth a diddly, and you really get in trouble with this. In those situations, you're a surrogate mother, or you're going to have to tube feed or bottle feed, and you've got to step in early. That's why you should weigh your puppies every day, to make sure that they're getting the nutrition they need and they're gaining half an ounce. Because if they're not, you've probably got failed milk. If they're all not gaining weight, you've probably got not good milk with mum. You better be supplementing that with goat, and hopefully she'll come back online. I try the fenugreek seed if I was in that situation, see if it helps. Again, never been there. Well, that's not true. We have been there, but we were there because a dog died, not because it didn't produce milk. It's a bit different. All right,
Angela says she has the incubator. So, I mean, having 2 incubators doesn't hurt. You turn around and sell that one. If you're needing to get
if you've got the small one, get the big one. If you've got the big one, get the small one.
But if she wanted to, she could turn around and sell it. And she's got the heated whelping system and the puppy care kit that she'd get out of that, and then sell that other one if she wanted to.
What it amounts to is, with this special, you're getting the incubator for free, is what it basically amounts to. So if you've bought the other 2 things, you basically get the incubator for free because you're saving $240, thereabouts. So anyway,
Wrinkle quality.
Oh, so Rad Gaming says, I used fenugreek on my last litter and she has constant milk flow. Good. How much should they gain at 6 weeks? Well, I don't know the answer to that, but certainly newborn puppies for the first 3 weeks, you want to gain half an ounce a day. It's going to be more than that, but any gain is okay. What you don't want is a dog that's not gaining weight or losing weight. So we typically don't weigh our puppies. So these puppies now that are 7 weeks old, when's the last time we weighed those? When we wormed them at 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I haven't weighed them since then.
We'll probably weigh them again at 8 weeks.
Yes.
Because,
for the worming.
For the worming, because you got to know how much they weigh before you can worm.
Do you have any doubts about these puppies?
Oh, no, they're great.
I mean, they're just fighting and roughhousing and jumping all over the place, and happy little puppies.
Okay, wrinkle quad bulldogs you need to read. Mother dog not recovering post-delivery.
Which one says?
That one right there.
Mother did not recover post-delivery. Most of the pups were abnormal in size and didn't survive. She had an arched back post-delivery and has stayed the same. Well, she says she didn't recover post-delivery, but then she's got an arched back. Well, look, you've got an unusual situation here. I don't know what's up with the arched back. I've never seen that. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, it sounds like you've got some kind of spine deformity going on, but I mean, again, X-ray and consultations and all kinds of stuff, so I'm not going to be able to tell you much about that. Last question
Patron, here. Next, up Frenchies? What? I don't know.
Ernest Patron? Well, he's talking about using ice cream, cottage cheese, and yogurt to help dogs get their milk in, which is all good.
Yeah, I know. But the next up Frenchies, I don't know. Nobody loves you like a Frenchie.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah. But what is next up Frenchies? I don't know. Ice cream, cottage cheese, yogurt. Okay. Ice cream, cottage cheese, and yogurt. Yeah.
So Louvier Lewis said here, I weighed my dogs at 6 weeks old and they weigh between 2.2 and 3.4 pounds. Is that an okay weight? Probably fine, but again, the important thing is that they're gaining that half an ounce or more daily. As long as they're gaining weight, everything's great. If they're not gaining weight, that's when you start getting worried. If you've got a puppy that's playful and happy and wants to have a good time and wants to respond to you, and you're fine. And I think that is it. So Tammy, tell us one more time about the dog you've got, the last boy you've got. So
my little boy?
Yeah, tell us one more time about that.
So we're going to go run and get him?
Go run and get him.
Okay.
Tammy's going to pitch you one last time. Let's see how many people we've got here. Let's see what we've got going on here. We're going to drag this in here. 39 likes. Well, I think we had more last time. Maybe we didn't do as good this time. Maybe it's because the way I've got this orientation on the screen.
Somebody's made a big old mess. Imagine that.
I don't know. Anyway.
Imagine that.
So I hope we're ready for a fun July the 4th. It's always an interesting time for me because, being originally a British person, and now being in America.
Nobody wants to listen to that.
I'm going to say something here.
Everybody wants to see this. This is what you need right here. That's that little boy that is available. He is as you can see, he's a sable. He's ATAY, so he carries 10 points. He is a fluffy carrier, and he carries testable chocolate, he carries blue, of course he carries fluffy, and he carries cocoa. So he carries testable chocolate, cocoa, and blue. So he can produce for you, if you're going to use him for a stud, he can produce full fluffies, new shade Isabellas, rojos and tans, lilac and tans, blue and tans, chocolate and tans. So he's a pretty important little boy.
Yes.
But if you just want for a pet to love, he can give you all the love.
Yes.
He can tell you all kinds of secrets, and you can tell him all kinds of secrets.
Okay.
And he needs snuggling and kisses. I give kisses, big kisses. You give big kisses. Look at that natural rope, nice open nares, nice ear set, nice square top head. Look how thick he is.
Look at that belly.
He's very fat.
He's fat.
He's a fat boy.
He's eating some food.
He's so pretty.
So anyway, back to what I was going to say. July the 4th coming up. You know, here as an Englishman, now as an American, having lived in America since 1978, for the last 46 years, more than half my life, I am so glad that I moved to America. I consider myself to be an Oklahoman. I may not sound like it, but I mean, I love America. It is really the land of opportunity. And sometimes we don't realize what we've got going on for us here. It is really a wonderful country with wonderful people. So enjoy the 4th.
My phone number, 580-799-1910 for this precious boy.
All righty.
Yes.
We've wasted over an hour of your time. We've got almost 40 people who think we're good, so that's not bad. All right. Enjoy the 4th, everybody. Eat lots of steaks and drink lots of beer.
Be safe with the fireworks, please.
Yep. Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
And we're out of here.
Say bye-bye.